For years, Toyota was called the sleeping giant of the electric revolution. While Tesla raced ahead and BYD stormed the world with low-cost EVs, Toyota stayed silent. Critics mocked them. Analysts called them outdated. Investors said the legend had fallen behind. But inside this silence, something was happening. Toyota wasn't sleeping. They were calculating, observing every mistake, every recall, every short-lived EV trend, and preparing a comeback that could change everything. Because while others were chasing speed, Toyota was mastering precision. And now, the world's largest automaker is about to flip the entire EV industry upside down. This isn't a comeback, it's a recalibration. Welcome to Toyota's electric revolution. When the world went electric, Toyota didn't. While Tesla was sending cars into space and startups were promising a battery revolution, Toyota kept building hybrids. To many, it looked like hesitation, like the once unstoppable giant had lost its edge. But that wasn't what was really happening behind the scenes. Toyota wasn't sleeping. They were watching governments rush policies faster than infrastructure could keep up, watching companies burn through billions chasing EV glory, watching the reality that the dream of a fully electric world wasn't as simple as plugging in a car. You see, Toyota's leaders have always thought in decades, not quarters. While other automakers bet everything on short-term hype, Toyota was quietly gathering data from millions of hybrid cars already on the road. They were learning how real drivers behaved, how batteries aged, and what conditions made them fail. And while social media laughed, Toyota engineers were busy creating something more ambitious, a plan to master every kind of propulsion: hybrid, plug-in hybrid, hydrogen fuel cell, and yes, full electric. But they wouldn't release their EVs until they knew they could be built efficiently, safely, and profitably. Inside Toyota's headquarters in Aichi, Japan, executives debated for years about one key question: what if the world isn't ready? Charging stations were rare outside big cities. Power grids were fragile. Even in advanced countries, many people couldn't charge at home. Toyota predicted this problem years before the headlines caught up. Instead of chasing hype, they built hybrid technology into an art form. Cars like the Prius and Camry hybrid quietly dominated the global market, selling millions every year. These cars didn't need plugs, they just worked. They were reliable, efficient, and affordable. While others experimented, Toyota kept printing money. It was a strange strategy, one that confused analysts but impressed insiders. Because Toyota wasn't just building cars, they were collecting experience. Every hybrid they sold gave them real-world data, billions of miles of battery performance, engine integration, and power management. And that data became Toyota's secret weapon. In boardrooms around the world, automakers obsessed over range anxiety and battery capacity. Toyota, meanwhile, was learning how to make electric systems last for decades. Their engineers pushed for reliability above all else, the kind of reliability that made a Toyota Corolla famous for lasting 20 years. Then came the turning point, 2020. The pandemic shook supply chains. Semiconductor shortages crippled production everywhere. Companies that had invested everything into EVs struggled to deliver. But Toyota kept going. Its flexible factories could switch between hybrid, gas, and electric models without collapsing. People started asking questions. How did Toyota avoid disaster? The answer lay in their strange EV strategy. They never put all their eggs in one basket. Instead, they diversified, mastering multiple powertrains. So when EV materials became expensive, Toyota's hybrid line carried the company. At the same time, Toyota quietly began preparing for the next phase: solid-state batteries. This wasn't a small upgrade. It was a total rewrite of what an electric car could be. These batteries promised faster charging, longer range, and far greater safety. But most importantly, they were designed to be built at scale, efficiently and profitably. In 2023, Toyota announced that its first solid-state EV would hit the market before 2027. The same year, their engineers claimed a breakthrough that could allow a full charge in under 10 minutes. The world that once mocked Toyota suddenly paid attention. Because while everyone else was fighting for market share, Toyota had built something far more valuable: stability. By 2025, Toyota's slow approach started to look genius. Global EV sales plateaued in several countries due to charging issues and cost. Meanwhile, Toyota's hybrids continued to sell out. Customers who wanted electric efficiency without range anxiety found the perfect balance in Toyota's lineup. Even governments began softening their all-EV targets, admitting that hybrids still had an important role. In that moment, Toyota's strategy, the one the media had called outdated, suddenly looked prophetic. Behind closed doors, Toyota's top engineers were already testing what they called multi-pathway mobility. Their philosophy was simple: there's no single solution for the world. Different countries need different technologies. In places with clean electricity, EVs make sense. In areas with poor infrastructure, hybrids and hydrogen are better. Toyota planned to supply them all. That's why while Tesla focused on a few models, Toyota worked on scale, designing factories that could build different kinds of cars on the same line. This flexibility became their superpower. Today, inside Toyota's mega factories, robots and engineers build vehicles that blur the line between gas and electric. Every process, every motion is optimized down to the second. The same factory that builds a Camry hybrid can switch to producing an EV with minimal change. No one else in the world has that capability at this scale. Toyota's patience, once mocked, has now turned into momentum. They didn't need to be first. They needed to be ready. And now, as the world realizes the limits of rushing into electric mobility, Toyota's hybrid empire stands stronger than ever, powered by a strategy that looked slow but was actually decades ahead. Because Toyota understood something simple: innovation means nothing if it can't reach everyone. And now, the company that once seemed asleep is about to wake up stronger than ever. But this awakening wasn't just about cars. It was about redefining what progress means in an industry that forgot patience. The question is, what happens next when the most disciplined automaker on Earth finally decides to move at full speed? While the rest of the world fought over electric headlines, Toyota was building something quieter and far more powerful. A global hybrid empire that stretched across continents, silently dominating the market, without the need for flashy announcements or viral moments. Every minute, somewhere on Earth, a Toyota hybrid rolls off an assembly line. From the streets of Tokyo to the highways of Kentucky, these machines have become the silent heartbeat of the automotive world. They don't scream innovation, they just prove it. mile after mile. Toyota understood something most companies missed. People don't buy promises. They buy reliability. And hybrids were the perfect middle ground, a bridge between the old world of gasoline and the future of electric mobility. The numbers say it all. Over 20 million hybrid vehicles sold globally, more than 2 billion gallons of fuel saved, and an entire generation of drivers who unknowingly became part of a massive clean energy experiment led by Toyota. The strategy was simple but brilliant. While others chased headlines, Toyota focused on scalability. They made hybrid technology affordable, refined, and nearly indestructible. A Prius could run for years with minimal maintenance, and its battery systems, once considered risky, proved so reliable that Toyota offered warranties longer than most people kept their cars. Inside Toyota's mega factories, hybrids became a masterpiece of efficiency. Robots welded steel frames with millimeter precision, while engineers tested every electrical connection by hand. Each car was a blend of mechanical tradition and electronic innovation, a symbol of what happens when patience meets perfection. Even more impressive, Toyota never stopped improving. Every generation of hybrid got smaller batteries, smarter software, and higher efficiency. The latest Prius, for example, can achieve fuel economy numbers that seemed impossible a decade ago. Yet it does so quietly, without fanfare, just like the company itself. Behind the scenes, Toyota's hybrid success became a secret weapon in global politics. Governments desperate to cut emissions but unable to build EV infrastructure turned to Toyota's solutions. In countries like India, Brazil, and Indonesia, Toyota hybrids became the practical path toward cleaner transport. By 2025, Toyota hybrids accounted for a massive share of the world's electrified cars, more than all pure EVs from some of their biggest rivals combined. And while Tesla built futuristic factories and Chinese automakers raced to flood the market with cheap EVs, Toyota did something different. They made sustainability reliable. Because for Toyota, innovation wasn't about showing off the future. It was about making sure the future could actually work. They understood that progress isn't measured in viral moments or quarterly profits. It's measured in endurance. Every Prius, every Corolla hybrid, every RAV4 that stayed on the road for 15 years was proof of a deeper philosophy. Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. That mindset allowed Toyota to dominate quietly while others stumbled under their own hype. Their hybrid system became the gold standard, studied, copied, but never quite matched. Today, even as electric cars dominate headlines, hybrids remain the backbone of Toyota's empire. They generate profits, fund research, and build trust. And now, Toyota is using that foundation to launch something even bigger. A new generation of electric and hydrogen vehicles that carry decades of hybrid wisdom inside them. Because the truth is, Toyota never saw hybrids as the end of the story. They saw them as the beginning, the perfect training ground for the world to learn how to drive electric without compromise. And as the global race towards zero emissions accelerates, Toyota's hybrid empire stands as a quiet reminder that innovation doesn't always roar. Sometimes it hums. While the rest of the auto industry scrambled to move production overseas, Toyota made a move that shocked analysts. It doubled down on America, not just with dealerships or marketing, but with full-scale manufacturing dominance. Kentucky became the beating heart of Toyota's North American empire. A mega factory so efficient it produces a brand new car every 60 seconds. Every bolt, every weld, every movement inside that factory follows a rhythm perfected over decades. The hum of the robots, the gliding of conveyor belts, the synchronized flashing of sensors. It's like watching a mechanical symphony where every note is tuned for perfection. But this wasn't luck. It was part of Toyota's master plan, a plan that blended human skill, robotic precision, and a long-term vision most companies couldn't even see. Inside Toyota's U.S. factories, humans and machines don't compete. They cooperate. Each robot is designed to enhance the worker's capability, not replace it. Robots handle the dangerous or repetitive tasks: welding frames, installing heavy components, painting with microscopic accuracy. Meanwhile, human engineers monitor, adjust, and improve the process in real time, ensuring every single vehicle meets Toyota's strict global standards. It's not automation replacing people. It's automation empowering people. And that philosophy gave Toyota something money can't buy: consistency. From Camrys to RAV4s, every car that leaves the Kentucky plant feels identical in quality to one made in Japan. The precision is so high that parts made on different continents fit together as if they were assembled side by side. But Toyota's master plan goes even deeper. It's not just about making cars. It's about mastering the ecosystem around them. Batteries, software, supply chains, and even the energy that powers the factories. Everything is connected. Take Toyota's hybrid battery production. Instead of outsourcing to third-party suppliers like most rivals, Toyota built its own dedicated battery facilities right next to its car factories. This means fewer delays, lower costs, and total control over quality. While other automakers suffer from shortages or shipping chaos, Toyota keeps production steady, like a perfectly tuned engine. And here's the twist. Toyota's American strategy isn't just about efficiency, it's about survival. By investing billions into U.S. manufacturing, Toyota locked in political goodwill, tax incentives, and consumer trust, a triple win that keeps them untouchable. When trade wars, tariffs, and global shipping crises hit, Toyota's U.S. operations kept running, quietly outperforming competitors who were too dependent on overseas parts. Behind all of this is the Toyota production system, a philosophy so deeply ingrained that it's taught in universities and business schools around the world. Its core principles, Kaizen, continuous improvement, and Jidoka, automation with a human touch, have turned Toyota into more than a car company. It's a blueprint for industrial perfection. But Toyota didn't stop there. The company began merging robotics and artificial intelligence into its next-generation factories. Imagine robots that not only assemble vehicles, but also learn from each build, improving speed and accuracy without human input. That's not science fiction. It's happening right now inside Toyota's prototype facilities. At the same time, Toyota is reinventing what a factory even means. Its new smart plants, like the ones planned in North Carolina and Texas, are designed to be carbon neutral. Every kilowatt of electricity is tracked, recycled, and optimized. Even the water used in cooling systems is reused, filtered, and returned cleaner than before. And while other brands chase headlines with futuristic designs and bold promises, Toyota's master plan quietly transforms the backbone of global manufacturing, one facility at a time. Here's the genius behind it. Toyota's U.S. factories aren't just about producing cars for America. They're training grounds for the next era of production, a model that Toyota plans to export worldwide. Every robot perfected in Kentucky teaches the next generation of AI-driven machines. Every engineer trained there becomes a mentor for future plants in Asia, Europe, and Africa. It's a strategy built not for 1 year, but for 50. And it's the reason Toyota will always seem one step ahead, even when it looks like they're standing still. Because the truth is, while others chase speed, Toyota perfects endurance. Their master plan isn't about being first, it's about being forever. For years, critics said Toyota was falling behind in the electric revolution. Where's the fully electric lineup? They mocked. Why is Toyota still pushing hybrids in 2024? What they didn't realize was that Toyota was never sleeping. It was calculating. While the world rushed into EV hype, Toyota quietly perfected a middle ground, one that's turning out to be the smartest move in the entire industry. Let's rewind. Toyota didn't just invent the hybrid, it mastered it. Back in 1997, when most automakers were still celebrating horsepower and exhaust notes, Toyota launched the Prius, the first hybrid car the world had ever seen. People laughed. They called it slow, weird, even ugly. But 2 decades later, over 20 million hybrid vehicles later, Toyota had built something far more powerful than an engine. It built trust. And that trust? It's paying off big time. Because while Tesla, Ford, and GM raced to electrify everything, Toyota realized something crucial. The world isn't ready yet. Not every country has chargers. Not every grid can handle the load. And not every driver wants to gamble on range anxiety or battery replacements. So instead of going all in on EVs too early, Toyota doubled down on hybrid technology. And it's starting to look like a genius move. Hybrids give you the best of both worlds. Electric torque for instant power and efficiency, and gasoline for freedom and range. No charging stations needed. No waiting times. Just drive. Take the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid, the world's best-selling SUV. It delivers nearly 40 miles per gallon, smooth electric acceleration, and zero compromise on performance. Or the Camry Hybrid, which runs so quietly you forget it even has an engine. And now, Toyota's hybrid tech is evolving again into something called the Hybrid Max system. This setup combines turbocharged engines with high-output electric motors, giving insane power without guzzling fuel. We're talking 0 to 60 in under 6 seconds from a family sedan. It's clean, efficient, and brutally fast. But here's the real brilliance. Toyota's hybrid dominance isn't just about cars. It's a supply chain superpower. Every hybrid sold today funds the research, factories, and partnerships that will power Toyota's full EV lineup tomorrow. The battery expertise, the electric motor production, the recycling facilities, they're all being built and paid for by hybrid profits. While other automakers burn billions chasing full EV dreams and bleeding money, Toyota's hybrids keep printing cash. It's not flashy, but it's stable. The kind of stability that wins wars, not just battles. And the data doesn't lie. In 2025, hybrid sales are booming. In markets like the US, Europe, and Southeast Asia, hybrid demand has outpaced EV growth for the first time in years. Drivers love the balance: electric feel, gas convenience, and unbeatable reliability. Meanwhile, Toyota's hybrid lineup has exploded. From the Corolla Cross to the Crown, from the Sienna minivan to the Tundra pickup, every model has an electrified version. And that's something no American automaker can say. And here's where Toyota truly outsmarts everyone. It knows timing. While the world burns through lithium supplies for full EVs, Toyota refines smaller, lighter hybrid batteries, cheaper to make, easier to recycle, and more sustainable long-term. They're already testing solid-state versions for hybrids before anyone else dares scale them for EVs. That's right. Toyota will perfect the future battery tech inside hybrid cars before unleashing it on the full electric battlefield. And the results? Stunning. Hybrids are selling faster than Toyota can make them. In 2024, Toyota sold over 3.5 million hybrid vehicles globally, more than all EVs from Ford, GM, and Volkswagen combined. That's not just success, that's dominance. Even Wall Street is paying attention. Analysts who once called Toyota behind are now changing their tone. Because Toyota didn't lose the EV race, it rewrote the rules. Instead of chasing hype, it built infrastructure. Instead of fighting range anxiety, it erased it. Instead of betting on uncertain grids, it bet on reliability. Toyota's approach is simple but profound. Don't follow the trend. Build the trend that lasts. And here's the twist. The hybrid comeback isn't the endgame. It's the bridge. The bridge to Toyota's next revolution. Solid-state electric vehicles. Cars that charge in minutes, run for 800 kilometers, and last for decades. But until that day arrives, hybrids remain the ultimate balance of today's practicality and tomorrow's innovation. While other companies keep sprinting into the unknown, Toyota is walking with confidence. Because it already knows where the road ends. So when you see that blue hybrid badge on a Toyota, remember, it's not a compromise, it's a strategy. A strategy 20 years in the making. A strategy that's quietly proving, once again, that Toyota isn't behind. It's simply outsmarting everyone. For years, Toyota stood quietly, watching the electric battlefield unfold. While Tesla, Hyundai, and Volkswagen launched one EV after another, Toyota was still sharpening its sword. Now, in 2025, the silence is over. The giant has awakened, and it's bringing an army. This isn't just another wave of cars. This is a full-scale electric invasion. From sleek sedans to massive SUVs, from futuristic trucks to next-gen luxury crossovers, Toyota's EV lineup for 2025 and 2026 marks the beginning of a new era. At the front of this army stands the Toyota bZ4X, the first of the Beyond Zero generation. It's more than just a car. It's Toyota's statement that the company is ready to go beyond emissions, beyond expectations. With a range of around 500 kilometers, all-wheel drive, and a design that blends aggression with elegance, the bZ4X is just the beginning. But Toyota didn't stop there. Coming right behind it is the bZ3, a compact sedan built in collaboration with BYD, designed primarily for the Asian market, affordable, efficient, and bold. Its secret weapon, a new lithium iron phosphate battery developed jointly by Toyota and Chinese engineers, providing long life, faster charging, and lower cost. The bZ3 isn't just an EV. It's a strategic weapon aimed at dominating the largest EV market on Earth, China. Then comes the bZ5X, the all-new three-row electric SUV, a vehicle designed to compete directly with Tesla's Model X and Kia's EV9. It's big, powerful, and designed for families who want comfort without compromise. Inside, It's filled with futuristic materials, an AI-powered assistant, and the kind of silence that only pure electric motion can bring. And let's not forget the Lexus division, Toyota's luxury spearhead. By 2025, Lexus will introduce the RZ450e, its first dedicated electric SUV. But that's only phase one. The real shockwave arrives in 2026, when Lexus unveils its next-generation EV platform capable of 800 kilometers of range and 10-minute ultra-fast charging. That's right, Lexus will become the first brand in the Toyota family to use solid-state batteries in production. No noise, no emissions, no waiting, just pure, silent speed. Meanwhile, back in the factories, Toyota's new EV empire is being forged. In Kentucky, North Carolina, and Aichi, Japan, Toyota is building new gigafactories capable of producing hundreds of thousands of batteries each year. Robots, automation, and AI-driven assembly lines are creating what Toyota calls the self-evolving factory, a system that learns, adapts, and optimizes production without stopping. The goal? Cut EV production costs by 40% and make Toyota EVs as profitable as hybrids by 2026. But here's the real secret behind Toyota's 2025-2026 plan: its modularity. Every car, from compact crossovers to luxury sedans, will share the same scalable EV platform called ETNGA, a flexible chassis that can host front, rear, or all-wheel drive. This means faster development, lower costs, and instant adaptability. Want a sports car? The platform can do it. Want a delivery van? Same base, different body. This strategy allows Toyota to release multiple EVs across segments at lightning speed. And the models just keep coming. The Toyota Compact Cruiser EV, a rugged, boxy off-roader inspired by the legendary Land Cruiser, reimagined for the electric age. It's built for adventure, with solar panels on the roof, a modular battery pack, and terrain control designed for electric torque. Next, the Toyota Hilux Revo BEV, the world's first fully electric pickup designed for global markets. Built tough, capable of towing heavy loads, and engineered for reliability. This isn't a city truck. It's a workhorse, just electrified. Toyota's engineers tested it across deserts, mountains, and jungles to ensure one thing: a Toyota must still be a Toyota, even when it's silent. And then there's the Toyota Sport crossover concept: sleek, futuristic, and fast. It looks like something from the year 2030, with a sweeping roofline, hidden door handles, and a dynamic stance. It's designed for Europe, but its design language will influence every EV Toyota makes in the next 5 years. Together, these models form the new army, a wave of machines designed not to chase trends, but to dominate them. They represent Toyota's final transition from the hybrid era to full electrification. Not rushed, not reactive, but precise and unstoppable. And it doesn't stop with Toyota cars. The company's subsidiary, Daihatsu, is preparing compact EVs for urban cities. Hino, Toyota's truck division, is developing battery electric and hydrogen-powered commercial trucks for logistics and industry. Even Toyota Marine is experimenting with electric propulsion systems for small boats. The message is clear. Toyota isn't just electrifying cars, it's electrifying everything. By 2026, Toyota plans to sell 1.5 million fully electric vehicles per year. And by 2030, that number is expected to reach 3.5 million, nearly a third of the company's total output. That's not just growth, that's transformation. And yet, Toyota's leadership remains humble. No flashy slogans, no promises to save the world. Just quiet, methodical progress. The Toyota way. Each model is a step, each battery a building block, each factory a piece of the puzzle. Because for Toyota, the electric future isn't a dream. It's a carefully constructed plan. A plan that started decades ago with the Prius, refined through hybrids, and now culminates in a new age of pure electric precision. So as the 2025 to 2026 lineup begins to roll out, one thing becomes clear. The electric revolution isn't just happening. Toyota is leading it. Not loudly, not recklessly, but with the same patience and perfection that built its empire in the first place. The hybrid king has returned, not to compete, but to conquer. When Toyota finally revealed its massive 2025-2026 electric lineup, the entire auto industry stopped. For years, Toyota had been mocked for moving too slowly, for clinging to hybrids while everyone else rushed into full EVs. But when the plans went public and investors saw the new factories, the solid-state battery prototypes, and the scale of Toyota's global strategy, everything changed. The silence was over, and the shockwave hit everyone, especially Tesla and BYD. At Tesla's headquarters in Austin, analysts watched Toyota's announcement livestream in disbelief. Elon Musk, the man who once said Toyota had no chance of catching up in electrification, suddenly faced a challenger unlike any he'd seen before. Because Toyota wasn't just another startup trying to make one or two luxury EVs, it was a 10 million cars per year machine. A giant with decades of manufacturing experience, billions in reserves, and the discipline to move like a samurai. The shock wasn't about technology alone. It was about timing. Tesla had dominated the electric world for a decade, but now, with global EV adoption slowing and cost pressures mounting, Toyota entered the field at the perfect moment, when the hype was fading and the market demanded real scalability. While Tesla was fighting to keep production costs low and avoid delays at its gigafactories, Toyota already had factories in place across every continent. All it had to do was retool. Inside Tesla's investor circles, questions began to rise. Could Toyota's scale destroy Tesla's pricing advantage? Could the company that invented the Prius now reinvent the EV industry again? For the first time in years, Tesla wasn't the only name in the electric future. But Toyota's strategy also hit another target. BYD, the Chinese giant that had quietly become the world's largest EV manufacturer by volume. BYD's executives had long seen Toyota as a partner. The two had collaborated on battery technology for years. But as Toyota's new lineup expanded, it became clear that the student might soon challenge the teacher. BYD had speed, but Toyota had legacy. BYD had innovation, but Toyota had trust. And in the global market, trust sells. In Europe and North America, where BYD was still struggling to build brand recognition, Toyota was already a household name, a name that symbolized reliability, longevity, and value. And then came the real blow. Toyota announced its solid-state battery timeline, commercial release by 2027. A battery capable of charging from 0 to 100% in 10 minutes, with a lifespan double that of lithium-ion. It wasn't just a breakthrough, it was a warning shot. Tesla had been working on advanced batteries for years, but none of its prototypes had yet reached large-scale production. And BYD's Blade battery, while impressive, suddenly look like last-generation tech compared to what Toyota was promising. The global reaction was immediate. News headlines around the world read, "Toyota is back. The hybrid king strikes again. Tesla and BYD brace for war." In China, BYD ramped up its R&D spending by 40%, fast-tracking next-generation sodium and solid-state battery projects. Its engineers knew what Toyota's entry meant. The age of easy dominance was over. They began preparing new designs for ultra-affordable EVs, hoping to secure emerging markets before Toyota arrived. At Tesla, meanwhile, the mood was more complex. Elon Musk responded publicly, tweeting that competition was good for the planet. But privately, Tesla engineers were already analyzing Toyota's production blueprints and supply chain efficiency. Tesla had built its empire on innovation, but Toyota's empire was built on perfection, and perfection scales. Toyota's entry also triggered a ripple effect among smaller automakers. Mazda, Subaru, and Suzuki, all part of Toyota's extended alliance, announced plans to join the company's EV ecosystem, adopting Toyota's eTNGA platform and sharing its battery tech. Overnight, Toyota had created an electric coalition, a network of brands united under one system, one supply chain, and one mission: to challenge the American and Chinese EV giants head-on. By 2026, this alliance meant that Toyota wasn't competing with Tesla and BYD alone. It was leading a multi-brand front capable of producing everything from compact EVs to electric trucks, buses, and even marine vehicles. And this terrified investors in both California and Shenzhen. Tesla's advantage had always been speed, releasing new models faster than anyone else. But Toyota's advantage was endurance. Its vehicles were built to last decades, not just sell fast. When Toyota launched its first electric Hilux truck, the message was crystal clear. This is not a gadget. It's a machine meant to survive. That mindset resonated globally, especially in developing markets where reliability mattered more than raw speed or futuristic features. And that's exactly where Tesla and BYD were weakest. Within months, stock analysts began predicting a new big three in the EV world: Tesla, BYD, and Toyota, each representing a different philosophy. Tesla, the innovator; BYD, the disruptor; and Toyota, the strategist. Three forces now locked in a global race that would define the next decade of transportation. And perhaps the most remarkable part? Toyota's leadership didn't act like it had started a war. There were no bold claims, no flashy slogans, just quiet confidence. When asked about competing with Tesla, Toyota's CEO simply smiled and said, "We don't compete, we improve." That calmness only made the rest of the industry more nervous, because they knew when Toyota moves, it moves for decades. It doesn't chase trends, it builds foundations. And the foundation for the next 50 years of mobility was being laid right now. By late 2026, Tesla had increased discounts to maintain sales. BYD had doubled marketing budgets, and startups across Europe were struggling to survive. But Toyota? It was expanding. More models, more factories, more precision. Like a storm moving slowly but relentlessly across the globe. This was no longer about who built the fastest EV. It was about who could control the future of electric mobility itself. And with every silent, efficient, perfectly crafted Toyota rolling off the line, answer was becoming clearer. The world's most disciplined automaker had finally entered the fight. And now, the battlefield belonged to Toyota. For more than a century, the automobile industry has been driven by one thing: disruption. From Henry Ford's assembly line to Tesla's gigafactories, every few decades a new player has rewritten the rules. But now, as the dust settles and the electric revolution enters its most critical phase, a familiar name stands quietly at the edge of history: Toyota. For years, critics said Toyota had missed the moment, that it had been too slow, too conservative, too loyal to hybrids when the world wanted full electrics. But perhaps Toyota wasn't behind. Perhaps it was simply waiting, observing the chaos unfold. Because what the world saw as hesitation might have been patience, and patience has always been Toyota's greatest weapon. In 2024, when most automakers were struggling to make profits from EVs, Toyota's balance sheet told a different story. Tens of billions in reserves, steady growth, and one of the strongest global supply chains on Earth. While others burned cash chasing the future, Toyota was preparing to own it. Inside the company's headquarters in Aichi, Japan, engineers and planners weren't panicking about catching up. They were perfecting a new philosophy, one that would combine everything Toyota had learned over 80 years: precision manufacturing, hybrid efficiency, and now, next-generation battery power. The new vision wasn't just about making electric cars. It was about making electric mobility sustainable, profitable, and scalable. Toyota didn't want to build EVs that needed subsidies to survive. It wanted to build EVs that made sense for the company, for the consumer, and for the planet. By 2026, the company's Beyond Zero program had expanded into every corner of the automotive world. From compact city EVs to electric trucks, hydrogen-powered SUVs, and even experimental solid-state vehicles that could redefine how we think about range and reliability. But more than the products themselves, it was the system Toyota created that stunned analysts. Its battery plants were designed like living organisms, self-correcting, self-monitoring, and interconnected across continents. Every robotic arm, every conveyor belt, every data point was part of a global intelligence network that learned in real time. If a single process improved efficiency in Kentucky, that same improvement was mirrored instantly in plants across Japan, the UK, and Thailand. This wasn't just automation. It was synchronization, the ultimate evolution of Toyota's philosophy of Kaizen, continuous improvement. And that's what makes this new era so different. While Tesla built faster, Toyota built smarter. While BYD expanded outward, Toyota expanded inward, reinforcing its systems, its logistics, and its people. It wasn't racing to dominate the present. It was quietly engineering the future. But the question remains, can Toyota truly rewrite the rules? Can a company born from mechanical precision adapt fast enough to an age defined by software, AI, and data-driven ecosystems? Inside Toyota's R&D centers, the answer seems to be yes. The company's next-generation operating system, nicknamed Arene, is designed not just to control vehicles, but to evolve them. Arene allows cars to receive over-the-air updates, communicate with smart infrastructure, and even adjust performance based on driver behavior. It's Toyota's silent response to Tesla's software dominance, but built with the reliability and safety that define the brand. And then there's the most ambitious part, Toyota's AI-driven design lab. Here, vehicles aren't just engineered, they're trained. Machine learning models simulate decades of road data, weather conditions, and wear patterns to predict how every part of a car will age before it even hits the road. It's predictive manufacturing on a level the world has never seen. But Toyota's real advantage might not be technology at all. It might be something simpler: trust. In a world where consumers worry about data privacy, product recalls, and financial instability, Toyota represents stability. For millions, buying a Toyota isn't a gamble, it's a guarantee. And as EV adoption becomes mainstream, trust could become the most valuable currency in the market. Still, the competition isn't standing still. Tesla continues to push software innovation. BYD continues to flood markets with affordable EVs. European automakers like Volkswagen and BMW are fighting to protect their legacies. But Toyota doesn't need to win every battle. It just needs to outlast everyone else. And history suggests that's exactly what it's built to do. Even now, Toyota's long-term roadmap extends far beyond cars. The company is developing solid-state drones, AI-driven delivery bots, hydrogen energy grids, and autonomous transport ecosystems. It's not just building vehicles anymore. It's building an entire mobility infrastructure. And if that sounds ambitious, it should. Because Toyota's vision isn't about the next 5 years, it's about the next 50. A world where cars, trucks, and even homes all share energy seamlessly. Where your vehicle isn't just transportation, it's part of a living, breathing network that powers your life. So can Toyota rewrite the rules? Maybe it already has. Because while the world was chasing trends, Toyota was building foundations. While competitors launched flashy prototypes, Toyota was perfecting production lines. And while everyone else focused on speed, Toyota focused on endurance. And endurance wins every long game. The hybrid revolution proved it once. The solid-state revolution might prove it again. The dawn of this new era isn't loud. It doesn't come with fireworks or viral headlines. It comes quietly, one perfectly assembled car at a time. Each vehicle, each battery, each robotic arm moving in harmony. A silent revolution born not from hype, but from mastery. And somewhere deep inside Toyota's mega factory in Kentucky, as another car rolls off the line, maybe the 2000th of the day, an engineer glances at the clock. Another minute, another car, another step toward the future. Because when the world's most disciplined automaker decides to change, it doesn't follow trends. It defines them. And this time, Toyota isn't just returning. It's rewriting the rules of the automotive world all over again.